Alrighty crew, so welcome back to a brand new fantasy football video. Today we're doing a Game Week 1 team selection. Now you would have seen my original team selection that I filmed last week put out, but then there was this sort of questions going around about, you know, Haaland and Salah, are they must-haves? And if they are, then what is the team you can build around them? And so today we're going to be taking a look at a team selection that involves Mohamed Salah. Again, at 12.5 million for his price tag, he's quite expensive. And of course, Haaland, who at 15 million is insanely expensive, but he's sort of a must-have. But at double the price of a lot of other people, you do wonder. So obviously, straight away, you've got two players that eat up almost 30 million of your budget, which is absolutely insane. Their fixtures at the start of the year, Liverpool are playing Ipswich, which is quite decent, and then Liverpool are playing Brentford, not too shabby, and then finally Liverpool are playing Man United and Nottingham Forest. So their opening run of fixtures is quite good, which is why the Salah play can be quite interesting. Now, again, I've been making fantasy league videos for quite a while, so believe you and me, I somewhat know what I'm talking about. We've obviously got City playing Chelsea. That could be a high-scoring game. It could be clash of the sort of Titans possibly early on. Although I'm not sure if Chelsea will be Titans this season, but I definitely feel they're going to be good. City are then playing Ipswich, West Ham, and Brentford. So a similar opening run of fixtures, two of those teams for Liverpool and for Man City. But if we take a look at the defenders, so an update on the most selected players. Now you've got Saliba, Guardiola, Pedro Porro, Byrne, Anderson, Alexander-Arnold. So quite a lot of these players are the most selected. Brainwave up to 5 million is quite expensive. I do prefer Mikalenko, who's the 4.5 million option if you're looking for a defender for Everton. I like Cucurella in there as well. Quite an attacking player. Obviously just played with Spain, won the Euros. He could very well be up there. And then taking a look at Man United, I believe Man United have quite a few decent spin-off players who could be a sort of wild card person, getting a few points. For example, Garnacho, who's likely to play a lot. He's going to be a very interesting one. They've got a new signing, Joshua Zirkzee. He's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Mason Mount, if he comes back fit, does he play? Sancho and Anthony, some of these people in this team are going to have to step up and perform, which means that a few of them are going to be quite good bargains. Early doors, I'm going to bank on Garnacho getting a lot of game time, and it kind of covers off that price tag of Salah, which is quite hefty. Martinez, Euro, their big signing, already got a 4.5% selection. He's quite young. Is he going to make it into the team? For that sort of money, the likelihood is he is. And I'm inclined in their early run of fixtures against Fulham, and against Spurs isn't the best one. Aston Villa's not the best one. Actually, I take that back. Whilst he could be a good option, I think for now, the Man United fixtures, while he's settling in, aren't quite up to standard. Konza, I think, is an absolute bargain. This guy, Taylor, as a nice price point, is an absolute bargain. And then Gahey for Crystal Palace. Now, if Palace continue on their form like they did at the end of last season, he's going to be a real asset. Obviously, they've lost Elise, which is a bit shame. You know, I support Palace. Palace are the team. Mateta is 7.5 million. I mean, he had a fantastic end to that season. Wow. Did not have him in my team, and it was hurting me every single week. But I do like the idea of Eze, 7 mil. Is there going to be enough magic with the likes of, you know who, Elise gone? But Aston Villa have signed their recent person, Unana. This could be an interesting play. Big money signing. He's going to get game time. He's going to be there. Same for Barkley. Barkley might not get as much game time, but Unana's going to be there, sort of sitting back, playing regularly. And for 5 million, I think that's a decent entry point. So for forwards, again, I want to have a look at who's selected. Watkins, Isak, Pedro Porro, João Pedro, Solanke, Tony, Mateta, Gakpo. They're quite high price points. Vardy's an interesting one. He's just not got the legs like he used to, I believe, in terms of game time. Fraser, Hoyland, Muniz, Armstrong, Jackson, Wood. Jackson's quite a good wild card, and I feel like we're going to have one 7 mil defender in there, 7 mil attacker in there. Otherwise, financial fair play is going to be after us. Options-wise, man, it's quite tight. Richarlison's gone back up front. I would like to see him in midfield again. But I think for the 7, I do like the idea of taking a bit of a punt and sticking Jackson in there for Chelsea and seeing what they can do early doors. So we'll get Jackson in, and then I'm going to look at a nice cheap forward. So let's say something 5.5 or less, because we've got 31 million left. And then you're looking at Daka, could be a good shout. Jamie Vardy, João Pedro, is he going to pay? Antonio. But yeah, like I said, I like the idea of Where is it? I like the idea of Daka, Patterson Daka. An interesting season in the Championship. Got quite a few goals. So we look at playing a 1-2-3-5-2. So now we've got goalkeepers to sort out on the cheaper side of things. And we can get Areola. Let's take a look at Fabianski and Areola. You know what? Let's get a double up there. So we'll keep it nice and tight. And then in the midfield, if I select... You know, we've got now 17.5 million to play around with. So we've already covered off Chelsea with Jackson up front. Fernandes is covered with Garnacho. You're kind of going to need an Arsenal player. I feel like it's too risky not to have an Arsenal midfielder in there. So again, Saka's going to come in. Big money signing. So we got Haaland, Salah, Saka. And then we've got 7.5 million to get somebody else in. Now, who do we get in? Interesting. I would love to have Son in there. But ultimately... that's too expensive, but still keeping that sort of Spurs tradition alive. I think you can bag a lot of points with either Maddison or Johnson. We're going to select Maddison, and that takes us down to a 0. We're going to enter the squad. It's going to be called Eat Me, and it's going to be joining up to a league, but we're going to choose a club. Let's say Chelsea, favourite club. We're going to load up Maddison in there as well instead of this Southampton defender. Daka's going to be on the bench, and that very first game of the season, I think Cucurella is going to sit out while we have Gahey in there playing against Brentford. We're going to select triple captain as well. Play the chip early doors. And we are going to give it to Haaland because Haaland is ever so reliable on the opening day of the season. But this right here, if I zoom out a tiny bit, we'll get a nice overview of the team. So Fabianski, nice fixture against Aston Villa. Well, arguably actually not that nice a fixture, but still. And obviously Areola will probably start that game, but they'll be those two will be in there. Mikalenko for Everton against Brighton. 50-50 on a clean sheet there. Gahey, Brentford away. That could be a tough fixture. It depends on Palace's form. And then West Ham, Aston Villa, Konzo against West Ham. I like the idea of a clean sheet here. It just depends how strong Aston Villa come out and how attackive West Ham play. But I do like the idea of a clean sheet for 4.5 million. Maddison, Salah, Garnacho, Onana and Saka. So again, Onana's that sort of player who, as a big money signing coming in from Everton, I expect to see him with a bit of flair on the opening day and maybe a few assists, getting that game time. He's a big person. He's strong. He's going to be in the mix. That midfield is heavy with Saka, Salah, and then, of course, up top we got Haaland and Jackson. So you're looking at 3 players there over 7.5 million. So you got 15 on Haaland, 10 on Saka, and 12.5 on Salah. So, and then the bench is Cucurella, Daka, Harwood, Billis, and Fabianski. So that is what we're rocking right now. It's going to be an interesting season. Let me know what you think of this draft, bearing in mind that Salah, Saka, and Haaland are included. I guess the only one that people would possibly swap out is Onana. But yeah, like I say, let me know in the comments, how can I make this draft better, given the pricing scenario with the likes of Haaland and co up top. But as always, leave a like, subscribe, join my league in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.